The hot, hellish world of Venus is shrouded in thick layer of clouds, but in those drifting clouds could be a niche for extraterrestrial microbial life. Discovering life beyond Earth may well start with a sniff, a whiff of some chemical that scientists struggle to explain without invoking a strange, shadowy microbe. That first step has happened on Mars and on a few distant moons, and now on Venus. Today we will discuss with you on the topic, could there be life in the clouds of Venus? Welcome back to Signature's Life and you're watching Signature's Science. Venus shows some episodic dark sulfuric-rich patches with contrasts up to 30 to 40% in the ultraviolet and muted in longer wavelengths. These patches persist for days, changing their shape and contrasts continuously and appear to be scale-dependent. The particles that make up the dark patches have almost the same dimensions as some bacteria on Earth. Although the instruments that have sampled Venus' atmosphere to date are incapable of distinguishing between materials of an organic or inorganic nature, the patches could be something akin to the algae blooms that occur routinely in the lakes and oceans of Earth. Only these would need to be sustained in the Venusian atmosphere. The planet's surface is famously inhospitable today, bone dry and hot enough to melt lead, with an atmospheric pressure 90 times greater than that of Earth at sea level. To feel that same amount of squeeze on our planet, you would have to descend about 3,000 feet, otherwise 900 meters, into the oceans. But Venus was a temperate world long ago, with seas that persisted for eons, perhaps 2 billion years or more. Venus may therefore have been a habitable planet for much of solar system history, and that Earth's so-called sister planet could potentially support life to this day, at least in places. Though Venus' surface has gone hellish hothouse, the environment a few dozen miles high in the skies is pretty benign. Temperatures and pressures up there are close to those of Earth's surface, so it's possible that Venusian life, if it ever existed, didn't die out with a dramatic climate shift long ago but rather retreated into the clouds. Those clouds are made mostly of sulfuric acid, which would seem to argue against the Venusian life idea. But over the last few decades, biologists have found all manner of hardy microbes here on Earth capable of tolerating similarly extreme conditions, and these same acidic. Venus clouds could potentially provide chemical energy to any microbes that may be floating around up there. Intriguingly, Venus' upper atmosphere also abounds with a mysterious compound that absorbs ultraviolet radiation, the high-energy light that causes sunburns here on Earth. Nobody knows what this stuff is or where it comes from, but some scientists have speculated that it could be a biological pigment, perhaps a sulfur-based sunblock of some sort. And life didn't necessarily have to arise on Venus to thrive there. The planet has gobbled up many tons of Earth rocks that were blasted into space by violent impacts over the past 4.5 billion years, some of which may be sheltered unwittingly voyaging microbes. Venus material has also made its way to Earth, so it's also possible that our planet was colonized long ago by native Venusians. On our planet, phosphine is produced only by microbes and by human industrial activity, as far as we can tell. So, finding the gas on another world in an environment that astrobiologists had already flagged as potentially habitable is exciting news indeed. Venusian microbes may be emitting the phosphine, but it's also possible that the stuff is being generated by exotic chemical reactions that we don't understand and that have nothing to do with life. If the discovery is confirmed by additional telescope observations and future space missions, it could turn the gaze of scientists toward one of the brightest objects in the night sky.